What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another episode of the Professor Xavier Saga, and I wanted to do this Shadow King Global's Hero section again because I feel like this is probably the most difficult section. Out of all the stages, I feel like this is probably the one that people are usually running into issues with, and it's not, it's a very complicated node because of the fact that we have to face off against duplicate heroes, right? We face the enemy Shadow King, and we have to face off against our doppelgangers. And of course, as you guys will see later on in the footage here, they're not only our doppelgangers, but they also get their first turn in before we even get our initial turn. It's just how the boss was kind of plugged in, and the mechanic is they get the on spawn full turn bar ahead of everybody else. But yeah, I think this is the one that some people might have taken Old Man Logan, and he just ends up becoming a nightmare because, well, Old Man Logan is Old Man Logan, right? And hence we found out the hard way that he was not a good character for this, because once his clone version is on the other side, he just destroys our teams. I'll show you guys an example of that as well. But yeah, so let's talk about the choices. And I mean, when I ran through it, I had actually had the 3-piece Liberty with Victoria Hand and Emma Frost. And this is the one that I had used way back, right when we were doing the race for Professor X and, getting his red stars and whatnot. And yeah, this was the team that I eventually got through it, through a lot of attempts. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was a lot. But we got through it, and I had the perfect RNG and the perfect placement, and everything just went my way. I actually, at the time when I did it, it wasn't really a big deal because I didn't have any materials for the next section. So it was okay. I was able to kind of, every day I played, I played a little bit of it every single day, and it worked out. Now with regards to the current meta, and now with all these new characters and everything going on, now the shift has been less on Liberty now because they are an outdated team, and now it's been more the Brimstone, right? This is the Battle World team, right? This is the guys that we use for Thunderstrike raids, right? This is still a very high-end offensive war team, and of course leading the charge here is Daemon Hellstorm himself. Probably the best character right now, I think, that's a non-legendary. He just, yeah, Fantastic Four is good, but they kind of need the whole piece unit to work together. And if it's Franklin versus Daemon, or if it's Sue versus Daemon one-on-one, I will pick Daemon every single time. And that's because he's fast. He's got a crazy ult that does the ability block. He's got special that takes a huge percentage of their health. And yeah, and he's farmable now as well in the game. I think is it Nexus, Hard Nexus 3 or something like that. So yeah, not only is he farmable, like you can't even farm Franklin, right? Not at least not as easily as Daemon. But having said that, now this shift to the Brimstone team, that's kind of the standard because, yeah, like I said, they're Battle World. You can use them in Cosmic Crucible. You can use them in Arena. You can use them in a wide multitude of different game modes, and that's kind of the reason why this is the go-to team. But the big question that I get asked all the time, over and over, is, do we need to do a 3-piece Brimstone, or do we need to do the 4-piece? And I'll have footage for you guys so you guys can see the difference between the 3 and the 4-piece. But yeah, it does make a difference. And actually, the question is almost identical to like the Liberty question. Do we go with a 3-piece Liberty team way back in the day? And back in the day, yeah, you can make it work. You can make it work with a 3-piece, but you're gonna need some crazy RNG. Or you can do 4-piece, and it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And of course, it's the same case here with the Brimstone. The reason is because that Shadow King node, it's got war buffs, right? So if you have 4-piece Brimstone, 4-piece Liberty, you're gonna get all these crazy amount of buffs activated. And unfortunately, that's the way they've kind of built in that node. I think they want people to kind of build these characters, and yeah, it really doesn't work. Like Songbird does not work. She'll absolutely decimate your team. Old Man Logan won't work. Phoenix won't work because she's just gonna die. Yeah, lots of people have tried different combinations, and I've seen ones that worked and ones that haven't worked. And by far the easiest is the Brimstone method. So we're gonna go over that one, and I'll show you guys. Like I said, I'll show you the 4-piece way, and then I'll show you guys some examples of what happens when you don't have the 4-piece, right? But having said that, I hope this video kind of gives you guys some direction on whether or not, if you're on the fence about, which guys to pick and which guys not to pick. And I think a lot of people contemplate on Elsa because she is a very expensive mystic character. She requires a lot of pieces, and she's also quite expensive. And then on top of that, if you're trying to build her, you got to build Daemon, you got to build Living Mummy, you got to build Hellcat. I mean, it's a lot of mystic gear. It's a big mystic gear crunch, and that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people weren't able to do Immortal Weapons, because Immortal Weapons was also kind of conflicting with them because they were also mystic, right? So anyways, that is kind of the rebuttal here. I feel like sometimes this is kind of boring, and you really need to watch the gameplay for it to make any sense. So let's actually jump into some gameplay footage here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, so as I already said, we'll jump into the gameplay here. And again, this is, like I said, the final node here. And when I had ran it, I had done Liberty with Victoria hand here. So again, this is the formation I had used way back. And actually, just so you guys can kind of see here, like, I'll show you guys just how difficult it is. So I don't know how the hell I did it, but I did. and yeah, you'll just see here, it's just crazy the amount of punishment. I also feel like maybe they've buffed it up a bit too. I'm just trying to see if there are any character buffs or here. So as you see here on spawn, what's important is placement. Placement is also going to be key to this. If you guys are patient and you guys are like searching for the right placement, you basically want it so that everybody's clustered together so that everybody gets damaged at the same time. If that doesn't happen, it makes it extremely difficult to do this node here. So again, we're not gonna play through the whole thing, but I just want to show you guys. So one attack right there hits all 4 people, and yeah, you want them to cluster together so that you can kind of get everybody in one clump here. And this is a good example of one where it's not bad. Like, we have a couple of people clustered here, and yeah, this is the case where you would want basically all 5 of them. And this kind of sucks because if Victoria Han actually went and she wasn't ability blocked, in an ideal situation, you would want her ability block to basically hit at least 3 or 4 people. If you were doing this strategy and you're going with Victoria Han, I do not recommend getting her tier 20 because there's better characters. Thunderbolts is already kind of getting pushed out of the raids with the arrival of champions, so it really doesn't make sense to bring up these guys to tier 20. It's honestly just probably a waste of your resources. But again, here I'll just show you guys, this cluster right here is nice because, like I said, everybody's kind of clustered together, and the faster we can kind of gun down Shadowking, the faster we can kind of get these nodes done. Liberty does a pretty good job considering it is just a 3-piece. Once you have Captain Sam or the 5th piece arrival on this, it does make a considerable difference because of the warp buffs active. And as you guys can see already, like, we didn't really go into here with the expectation of completing it, but I think you guys can kind of see here, it is an effective team, right? This is the reason why I knew that when I was doing it, I was like, hey, this is possible. If Victoria Han can get everybody clustered there, and if Victoria Han could use her ability block, we can kind of get it done. Of course, I know you need the 3-star so that you can move on to the next section. I don't think the Xavier door opens unless you get a 3-star. But I think you guys can kind of see here that it is a very effective team, right? It's not bad. It's not terrible. And again, this is kind of what we wanted from turn 1 here, the ability block. This would have been great if we had this turn 1, because then a lot of the characters would have been blocked. Somehow he blocked it. I don't know how. But again, the fact that we have these 3 guys kind of clustered all together really gives us a really good advantage here, because now we can kind of clean up some of the loose change here. I was not actually expecting us to do this much damage, but it really shows, like, this is the reason why this team was able to get it done here. And for those of you that have already completed the Xavier Saga, and you might have used the 4-piece, then you'll know that it was considerably easier. I don't actually have a 4th Liberty member, so apologies, I can't show you guys what it would look like, but I think you get the gist of it. We don't need to play the whole thing. And now what I'll do is I'll show you guys what happens when old Man Logan is introduced into the mix here. Because yeah, this is what you don't want. You don't want old man Logan because he just absolutely destroys your team here. We'll just hit auto. We won't watch the whole thing, but I just want to just demonstrate to you guys why he was such a no-no. And of course, I only have mine at tier 20 because of the fact that we love old man Logan. He's an absolute beast in other game modes other than this particular node. But as you guys can see here, yeah, he dishes out so much trauma at the start to us. Disruption, a stun. Yeah, and look, like you guys just saw the earlier footage where we barely even took a turn, right? So this is such a different scenario with just the addition of one character, right? So it's crazy. We don't even get any attacks in. They've got safeguard. They've got, my goodness gracious, I don't even know where to start. So yeah, so old man Logan is a no-no. Songbird is a no-no. Phoenix is a no-no because yeah, those characters are gonna die on you. It's just not gonna work. Actually, you know what? Thunderstrike is also a big no-no. Do not bring Thunderstrike. He is also just as bad as old man Logan because he applies the blind and he just pings every time he attacks. And yeah, it's brutal. So what we will go in here is I'm gonna show you guys a 4-piece Brimstone, just to kind of show you guys what it looks like here, and you know, just so you can kind of gauge on how. Actually, you know what, let's put Emma in here instead of Swordmaster. I feel like Emma is better because my Swordmaster, he's kind of 5 red 5 yellow and he's not as built up, so that's kind of the reason why. And then on top of that, I feel like we could have probably made her a raider, and Daemon we probably could have put a healer on maybe. No, you know what, let's keep it as a raider for maximum damage. And Emma we can put as a healer. But yeah, let's try this again here. And apologies, it has been some time since I have played these nodes as well, so I could be just bashing it and playing these wrong. But I think the general sense I want to get you guys to understand here is the 4-piece set does make things a lot smoother, and I'll show you guys what happens when we take away the 4th piece, and you can kind of see what it looks like afterwards. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, so maybe having Daemon on the side there isn't the best move, but anyways, so we're gonna cluster in this chunk of 4 here, so that way we can kind of you know what I'm gonna do, this time I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna focus on Living Mummy because the problem is he used his oh, he did it again here. He used his heals and his stun. His stun, his cleanse. I want to try this again where we can stun him, and so let's actually move Emma over as well, so we can see what happens here. Okay, so again, as I said, we want kind of a nice cluster, and actually this one right here where there's Living Mummy beside everybody, that's actually the perfect formation we want because he's like right adjacent to every single character, and it's gonna work well with Emma's abilities if she doesn't die on us. Now I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should have put Daemon there because he's a bit tankier. The reason why Daemon's good is because he also heals himself, right, when he uses his abilities. So again, we'll see what happens here. We'll target Living Mummy so we can get some of the counter attack off. And then yeah, once we get to the stun here, hopefully this actually works. So yeah, the stun's gonna take care of Living Mummy so he doesn't do his taunt for us. And then it actually works out great because now we have everybody kind of clustered on this cluster here. Now they're focusing on Emma, which is kind of stupid. I don't know why. So we're gonna throw the big ult here again. Good amount of damage to SHADOWKING because he's clustered right in here. Crap, poor Emma's getting a little beat up here. Now we're gonna throw the big Daemon Raider ult. That's gonna take a massive amount of health from SHADOWKING. Wowzers. Okay, and then yeah, we're oh yeah, see, so Elsa's already kind of getting close to death here. I think by the time we get to Emma's turn, she should be able to clear up some loose change here for some people. This is actually going better than that first run. I think maybe I just had some bad luck, but as I said, even with the perfect RNG, this boss node still requires, you know, some good luck as well, right? So right here, what we can do is we can use the ultimate. This is going to cause everybody adjacent to hit Living Mummy, so this is going to do a very, very good amount of damage. And if, you know, in the process of Elsa dies, we're going to get some speed bar back to Daemon and some energy as well. Then we're going to throw the ult right here. Shadow King's dead. Daemon can clean up the loose change here. So a very, very big difference from the last node attempt, all because of one shift in attack. I thought maybe we should stun Daemon, but I haven't played this one in a little bit of time, so apologies there, guys. But I think you guys get it. I think you guys get it. So this is kind of the difference between the 4-piece. I think it's going to take too long, so I'm just going to quit out of it. But now let's jump in with a 3-piece Brimstone so you guys can kind of see what happens. Also, I think it makes a difference because we had Swordmaster. So what we'll do here is, because I feel like a lot of people are going to have Living Mummy, they're going to have Daemon, they're going to have Hellcat. So we're going to take out Elsa because she's kind of the expensive one. She's kind of the one that people don't have built up. And again, even with this configuration, I just want to show you guys the difference it makes. Because now we are spawning with a 3-piece Brimstone. We don't have those War Buzz active, and we're not going to have Hellcat stun on first turn. So watch this. Watch this. When we go here, again, this cluster pattern that we have right now doesn't exactly help us either because they're all kind of split up a little bit. It would be nice if Shadow King was kind of in between some of these guys so that we can get a little extra damage between all 4 of them. But in this case, you kind of have to pick and choose. And I think we can still get Emma, Shadow King, and Hellcat. But we may just miss... Living Mummy here. Because, yeah, you always want to see if you can damage Shadow King. So, yeah, not the ideal best setup. And if you guys look at Living Mummy, he actually lost his revive once as well because of Swordmaster. So that's kind of where it sucks a little bit. But, yeah, you guys can kind of see here. This makes quite a big difference. For those of you that are thinking, hey, like, I don't want to take Elsa. I do not want to take her, you know? And I don't blame you guys. I mean, she's expensive. So, you guys, I think you guys can kind of see here, it's not the best without the 4-piece, but, you know, I think for the most part, with right RNG, it's definitely not impossible. It's definitely, I feel like, you're going to require definitely a good amount of luck, probably them not targeting the right characters, a little bit of, you know, crits involved as well, and yeah, end of the day here, it's gonna take a little bit of time here. So what is my advice? Well, my advice for you guys is, if you're in a big rush and you really want to get Professor Xavier unlocked and you don't want to stress out and you don't want to pound your head against the wall here, I would work on maybe that 4th member. Maybe get Elsa leveled up. It's gonna help you with Thunderstrike raids. It's gonna help you with Battle World. That's what I would do. But that's just me. And again, I did it with a 3-piece Liberty way back in the day. Way back. So I think I just saved that squad here on the bottom. Whoops. So I used this one, and it took a million attempts, but I did get it done here. And the last thing I'll leave you guys with here is I have some footage of way back as well. Not with this team, but with a 3-piece Brimstone. It was recorded probably a couple weeks ago. And I was trying because, you know, people have been asking me to try this team, try that team, and I have been trying, and it goes to show you what you can do even with our failed attempt there. It's with the 3-piece Brimstone, and we were able to star it, but I'll show you guys the footage so you guys can have it as well for your, you know, just for your guys's, you know, for your information. And if you see any other teams here that you want me to try that I currently have, because I'm not willing to take up Songbird and Rachel. I gotta save my resources. The game is at an all-time resource crunch, and I'm not willing to waste my resources for the sake of testing. But if there's characters here you think you want me to try here, Iron Fist. Actually, I don't really know if there's that much options left. I did do Iron Fist and Swordmaster, and that did not play well either. But yeah, Thunderstrike is a boo-boo. He is just brutal to play against. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with that, and I'll throw the footage here for my 3-piece Brimstone attack so you guys can have a look at it, because I feel like with enough attempts you may be able to get the 3-star on it, but yeah, it's gonna probably take some time. And I do have a 5 on my Swordmaster, so maybe if he was like bigger. Okay, so as I already said, we can do it with a 2-star here, and again, I lucked out with a bit of the RNG here when I did it, but took about, I want to say, probably close to 2 hours, maybe longer. What I did was I keep playing about 15 minutes a day, and then yeah, I think by about I forget, about a week or two into it, that's when I eventually got it. So yeah, I was gonna say probably about 2 hours. So you're gonna take a whole bunch of alts here, and you want to make sure that Living Mummy, he doesn't get that revive once removed. That's gonna suck if he does. Yeah, and it just like just like my previous battle footage, you kind of want this cluster here. So this cluster right here is perfect because we have a good amount of characters all kind of within the same frame. And again, we kind of go for Daemon because we don't want him to take another turn on us. He's gonna take, I think, one more turn, but he's gonna be ability blocked. Swordmaster is gonna do the negatives, and yeah, we're gonna do our thing here. So this would have been nice if this would have been nice if like Living Mummy was where Daemon was, because yeah, then even if they had their taunt and stuff, it wouldn't matter. But anyways, the big ult here is big because this does so much damage and takes out half of the health for a lot of these guys. And yeah, as you guys can see here, we're in pretty good shape here. Honestly, if Swordmaster was bigger, I think we'd probably just get through it. So if your Swordmaster is more than 5 stars and he's higher than 105, that may be the way to go. Mine, unfortunately, just dies kind of right near the end, but I still powered through it. As you guys can kind of see here, he's already kind of knocking on death's doorstep here with the amount of health he has. So I kind of already knew that it was going to happen. So this Psychic Wrath here, this is where it's important, is even with this taunt on Living Mummy, he's going to get a whole bunch of attacks on him just thanks to Emma's ultimate. And then that's what's actually going to kill Daemon, which is important here because when Daemon dies, he fuels our turn bar for our Daemon, so he's going to take another turn here. And again, we're going to use Living Mummy's ult. This is going to kill off Living Mummy's, basically his one life, so he comes back. That's going to fill the bar again here, and it gives Daemon the turn here so that he can use his ult or special. That's going to take care of a few more people. And right here, if he didn't have that damn ult, we probably would have been fine. Swordmaster might be okay, but unfortunately he had it. So then right here, we can clean up the change. Now Hellcat has her stupid stun. Like if she had this from turn 1, it would be amazing. But of course, because we only have a 3-piece Brimstone, she doesn't have those war buffs active. So she doesn't get that extra energy that she would get. So that's kind of where we are here. Living Mummy does this thing. It's going to cluster. And like I said, it would have been nice if Swordmaster didn't die, because yeah, it's definitely doable. It's definitely going to take some time. Definitely reliant on the size of your Swordmaster as well. If you're using Swordmaster or whoever your 5th is, just make sure they got diamonds on them, because everybody else here has diamonds except for Hellcat. Hellcat's 6 red, but I'm working on it. I'm working on her shards in the store, buying them when I can. And as you guys see here, we're able to kind of clean up the change here and finish off with a 2. So, is it doable with a 3-piece? Absolutely, it's doable. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. But it is doable, and if you guys have time, if you guys have patience, it can work, right? It can work, and you can get the 3 stars maybe if your Swordmaster doesn't die like mine did. I feel like I said, if he just had a little bit more, a little bit more buff on him, or maybe a little bit more health, maybe I could have put some Fortifier on him. I want to keep trying, but yeah. I'm just kind of sick of this boss thing, and yeah, I need to play some other stuff here. Sometimes when you play the same thing over and over, you just kind of get sick of it. So I'm kind of sick of it and over it. But anyways, I hope this was beneficial for somebody. Hopefully this helps you guys out if you guys are kind of sitting on the fence about it. If you guys are kind of wondering, hey, like, should I do 3-piece Liberty? Should I do 3-piece Brimstone? And like I said already, it depends on where you are, and I would always stick with the most meta teams, so that would be Brimstone. And yeah, 4-piece is going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. You're not going to stress out about it as much. 3-piece is definitely more skillful, and it's going to definitely be dependent on your RNG as well. Keep in mind as well as my characters are all pretty, they're all like 2 or 3 diamonds, other than Swordmaster and Hellcat, right? But all very, very high level characters, and level 3, level 4 purple ISO 8s. Like, yeah, these guys are decked, right? So okay, so we're gonna run in here one more time here, and now this testing kind of has me a little bit contemplating on whether or not we can try a fifth member here. I want to do Victoria Han because she, unlike my Swordmaster, is actually she has her diamonds, and actually she's even tier 20 to boot. And outside of Old Man Logan and Thunder Strike, I want to use a fifth member that isn't a Brimstone member. So we're going to try this again here, and just basing off our RNG as well here, you can kind of see this is a good placement because Living Mummy is actually adjacent to about 2 or 3 different characters. So usually with this type of placement, this would be a good one to kind of try and, try to go through it. So we'll see what happens here. Again, they're going to do a couple of attacks on us. We still have our revive once, so we're going to do the special here. And yeah, so it clusters there, and it hits about relatively four of them. So that cluster right there is actually pretty ideal here. I think other than Daemon being on the outside, which really sucks because sometimes we do want that splash damage on him as well. Victoria Hand's nice because when I had done it initially with my Liberty, she had the ability block, and if timed correctly, she is able to kind of take out the Liberty guys by basically ability blocking 4 or 3 members depending on what the placement is. So this would be a good one for us to use as well here. We'll use the ult here. This is going to give the speed up back to Daemon and heal himself up a little bit too. And now this is where we can kind of see if this is going to work here. We're going to throw the ult here. This is going to do the ability block. Crap. Okay, so now he does his thing. It would be nice, like I said, if you do the 4-piece Brimstone, you can stun either Daemon or Living Mummy, so it prevents the taunt. But yeah, it is a pain in the ass, which means when he does do the taunt, it limits our ability to splash the other characters because of the fact that the taunt pushes out to, it pushes us to the left side here. But I see Victoria hands down, so that's going to give us speed bar. And so far, so good. I think once we get to Victoria's hand and she could do the ability block, I think it's going to be game-changing. We're going to throw the ult here. Not like we have a choice anywhere else to hit. So really, we can't really do anything else about it. Emma Frost here, this is going to be big. Her ult's going to cause basically a couple attacks on the main target, and then it's going to be adjacent target to all the guys surrounding. So this is good for taking out Shadow King. So this is great here. This is going to be the ability block. We're not able to hit Hellcat or Daemon, which would be really nice, right? Right here, I can see the utility part where the ability block would be nice. So again, we'll see what it goes on here. I don't recommend. I don't recommend, like, if you guys think Victoria Hand's a solid choice. Because I'm playing it, it was just an example. This fifth member could be anybody else. It could be even a Patriot member, or sorry, not Patriot, a Liberty member as well. I am using her, and keep in mind, she is bio. So right now with the Champions Crunch and how they require 4 members to be bio, this would definitely set you guys back if you are kind of pushing for, if you are kind of going towards Eclipse and her event, and of course, if you're focused on Maestros, Shards, it would not be a practical approach, but I am using Victoria Hand because I had used her initially, and I had already invested resources in her, and she's got that ability block, she's got the heals, she's got the diamonds. The Swordmaster, like I said, would probably be better if I had diamonds on him instead of having him as 5 yellow, 5 red. So again, so far so good. I mean, we're not getting our butts kicked, so at least there's that. And again, once you get past the point where he's already used kind of his ult, if you still have 5 members on the board, just like when we were playing with Swordmaster, it usually means that we're in pretty good shape here for the end game. We just need another kill, and unfortunately this taunt is really kicking our butts here because it's holding us back. But we should get to Emma Frost's turn here, and she should be able to do her. She'll do her special as well, which is going to be the ability block. That's going to prevent the heal. Or wait, did we use the ability block already? Maybe we already used it. Again, drunk. I guess I'm drunk here. I thought, for some reason, I thought we didn't use it yet. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. So, once that taunt does go down, though, it does become quite an easier node. We'll see if we live here long enough. Again, Living Mummy is just kind of holding the barricade for us. Heals, taunt, keeping the other 3 members alive. And this is kind of where I wish Swordmaster would have been protected better. But that's kind of the way it goes. Yeah, so we don't want Daemon taking another turn here because we will get our asses handed. So again, we still got this nasty taunt. We got to get rid of it, so we have to kill him basically to get rid of it because of the safeguard. This should hopefully do it here. We are chaining to Shadow King as well, which is actually really nice. If Living Mummy was not beside Shadow King, we would not be getting such good effective damage on him. So now, yeah, now we can do the attacks on him, and this should actually I think we just need one more good attack here, and he's gonna die. Once Shadow King's dead, he's not gonna have any more pings on us, and it's gonna make life so much easier. This should assist with Daemon, or I thought it would. Okay, that's weird. I thought we'd get an assist from that. Okay, whatever. Okay, so he's dead. Fills the speed bar up. Emma should be next here. Again, we don't want that Daemon taking a turn, but we should be okay because we're gonna get some kills here. And that's going to fill his speed bar, and it's going to make our Daemon faster than the other one. Sweet. So we got the big ult here. This is going to help out lots. Energy back to us as well, thanks to the kills. That blocks that Daemon because I think he was probably going to do a special or ult on us. Yeah. Our living mummy is still holding strong here, so that's great. Here. And yeah, if this works, that basically settles it, right? 3-piece Brimstone will work. We don't need to have the 4-piece unless you know, unless you want to save yourself the stress of trying to do the RNG side. But this is my first. I'm not trying to trick you guys or anything. This was actually my first attempt here. I'm gonna try it again after maybe just to see how it goes. But yeah, Victoria Hand might be the way. If you know, again, I don't know. There may be, you know, maybe Rachel instead of, you know, maybe Rachel and Emma, or maybe Jean Grey. I mean, it was done before, I think, with Emma and Jean Grey and 3 Liberty, so I can't see why it wouldn't be a bad combo as well. But it all depends on your resource crunch. All depends on your resources where you're sitting at here. But that's it. That's the 3 Liberty, baby. That's it. Okay, that settles that. We were able to get a 2 on the Swordmaster, but the 3 definitely, yeah, for sure. I was a little bit more skeptical with Victoria Hand, but I think that ability block came in big because of the fact that it blocked 3 of them and put them out of their, you know, commission, right? And then that allowed us to kind of come in and clean up. But anyways, guys, yeah, so this video has gone on way longer than I thought it would, and I thought it was going to be quicker. But otherwise, guys, I hope this was helpful. And in case you guys are on the fence about 3 or 4-piece Liberty, or sorry, 3 or 4-piece Brimstone, this will work for us. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.